Hey guys, Railmoose here, back with another Roblox video, and I decided that today it was time to address something that's very near and dear to me and needed to be addressed. And the big fat Lego elephant that's sitting in the room that needs to be addressed is the fact that Roblox was not always a terrible game. Hold up, I know you're thinking right now, fuck this guy, he's like 21 and he plays fucking Roblox, and he's trying to argue that Roblox is not a meme. That is false. I agree that Roblox is a meme. It is a terrible game, it is a terrible community, and it deserves as much criticism as possible. Do not by any means assume that I am sticking up for Roblox in this video, as it is a criticism video. I am saying that at one point, it was acceptable, and I had enjoyed the game. Now, I'm entirely positive that if you've been on the internet in the past 10 years, you know what game I'm talking about. It's the big gay Lego meme game, and everybody hates it. If you're not familiar with big gay Lego meme game, then you're probably familiar with Lego erotic roleplay simulator. All of these terms are acceptable synonyms for the game. But what if I told you that at one point, it was a good game, and I did have fun playing it? You'd probably piss your pants and tell me to quit being a virgin, which is completely understandable. But let me explain. In the year 2008, I was a little 10-year-old. I was styling and profiling, and my friends came up to me and said, "Hey look, we found this Lego game. It looks sick. Come play it with us." At this point, as a kid, I was like, I fuck with Bionicles. I fuck with Legos. My dad buys me Legos all the fucking time, and now I can play that shit on the internet and be a Lego? Fuck yeah. So there was the birth of an account with the name Go Poop a Horse, created in March of 2008, and I was one of the first 250,000 players on Roblox. Not to brag about dick size, but that's a lot earlier than a lot of the kids probably watching this video right now. To be honest, a lot of the fucking kids watching this video right now were probably born in 2008. As a kid, if you didn't fuck with Legos, then I guess it's understandable that the game wouldn't be appealing to you. But if you didn't fuck with Legos, you're probably also one of the weird kids who got fucking the small pieces warning written on the Lego boxes, like don't swallow small pieces, and then your mom probably didn't let you play with Legos anymore, so you hold a grudge. So looking at this, you saw, okay, it's a Lego game. And this leads into my first point. The game, back then, was more acceptable to be played at a large age difference. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that if it was like it was back then, that I'd still be playing this shit. Look at it this way. There are people who collect Legos of every age, right? There are people who play video games of every age. The latter is acceptable. But so is the first one. The difference is, you're fucking weird if you're still playing with Legos at like 20 years old. Like, you're just a fucking weirdo. But there are the weird, occasional fat guys in their basement who build the Star Wars Lego models still. It's acceptable. The difference being, the game wasn't directed at only children, and therefore allowed a larger age range to be playing the game at an acceptable rate. Like any other game, considering Halo has been played by multiple age ranges, World of Warcraft has been played by multiple age ranges, and pretty much every other fucking game in the world, this is a good thing. When you only direct your game at children, you become a meme like Toontown or Club Penguin, and that is what Roblox became. Another thing that made the game way more enjoyable was how the games were set up and how the developers approached the community in general. Considering it being in 2008, it was still an impressive sandbox game with way more capabilities than Gary's Mod or Minecraft or any of that actually still provide to this day. This allowed a fun platform to be created where people could go in, make creations, show it off, and if that shit was good and fun, which people strived for, it would make it on the front page, therefore earning a lot of reputation. Although at this stage in the game, I think it wasn't really about getting to the front page always. It was about creating something fun and enjoying it with a group of people that would become your friends someday. It was also incentivized to keep pushing yourself further into creating better things and become an entrepreneur of sorts on Roblox by creating a currency that people would use and gather from getting visits on their places, and being able to spend that currency on virtual items for your avatar to make yourself look like a badass. Now, the items were very limited, because at this point in time you could only wear one hat and one t-shirt, and, you know, even into the points of wearing shirts and pants and multiple hats, it still persisted this way, where games were being made to have fun and enjoy good gameplay with your friends. This allowed for everybody to have an equal chance on the game and be given an opportunity to prove yourself and try your hardest to make something acceptable by the community, and people would play it. And you know what? If you did a good job, you'd get paid a good amount of currency, and it was a good time. Now, if you take a look at the front page of the games today, something tells me that upon your gander, you're not going to get the same view, just as I don't, of what was Roblox now. You see games like Royale High. That spelt Royale High, but we're just going to let that one slide. Meep City. Build a Boat for Treasure. Robloxian High School. Club Insanity. Fashion Frenzy. All the anime bullshit games. Now, some of these are acceptable and would have been accepted back then when playing them, but if you take a closer look and actually play the shit tier games, you will notice that they are just filled with microtransactions and purchases that are geared towards children to be better at a game that's not even going to be popular in probably 2 months. You want to make a successful game on Roblox right now? Okay, first off, be at least 15, which is way older than the game's current demographic. B, make it look flashy as hell, or cater to little girls that want to dress up and be slutty Kylie Jenner, but the Lego version. And C, just fucking make it impossible to actually enjoy the game without putting at least 100 hours into it without purchasing microtransactions. I promise you, you will be following the same route as Roblox and exploiting little children for money. Now you might be saying, whoa, Railmoose, big nippy Railmoose. You can't change progress, man. You can't delay progress. This is progress, bro. This is progress. This is fucking progress, bro. It's not, and you can. It's called don't change what isn't fucking broken. Which currently, what is broken is the state of games and the game's economy. Which leads into point number 3, which is also tied into point number 2, as it is the causation of point number 2, and looking back at it, probably should have been point number 2, while point number 2 should have been point number 3. The fact is, Roblox has a fucking garbage concept of economy, and completely destroyed it throughout the years. It used to be that there were 2 currencies. You had Big Dick tickets and Big Dick Robux. Big Dick tickets were earned one of 2 ways. A, not doing shit and simply logging in, helping promote children to be able to do shit even when they're not old enough or talented enough to script and create good games. And B, by creating good-ass games, and every visit, I believe, gave you 1 ticket, if I'm correct. Sorry if it's a little more. Of course, there were other ways of earning tickets and currency, and that was like selling shirts and shit like that. But no one ever really got like super rich off of selling clothing, unless it was a scam. Hey, dipshit, put your fucking hand down. The other currency was over here, and it was Robux, which was earned by either transferring tickets into Robux for a garbage amount, or B, being a member, and for a basic membership you would get 15 Robux a day, and I'm not even going to talk about higher tier memberships because that was a big scam too. The last video in which I impersonated being a Roblox staff member, which is not bannable outside of Roblox and wasn't used for malicious purposes, so calm down Roblox, keep that fucking ban hammer away from me. I addressed the fact that tickets were removed and how greedy it was and how fucked up it was, and the issues with that. Essentially, they removed tickets because tickets were pointless. No one needs tickets. No one free to play needs to play. Come on. It's free to play unless you want to actually play the fucking game right. Then it's not free to play anymore. It's just too many issues. Come on, no more tickets. So with that dog shit mentality, everyone was left to ask, well, how the fuck do we make money now? And the answer to that is you fucking don't. And that leads into point 2. being that games are no longer a form of having fun or an easy way to make revenue, but they are free advertisement for Roblox to sell items, and I guess technically make money because everyone's throwing fucking microtransactions in your face, which is a fucking dog shit mentality as well. Fun fact, nobody likes microtransactions, and I know that every other free-to-play game loves microtransactions, but when you don't originally have microtransactions, people aren't very accepting of the new change. So the main shift between games from when I originally played and now, which is a game that's directed towards children, is the fact that the games that were played back then were fun, enjoyable, and they were pushing the envelope every fucking time. The games nowadays are what children would be easily clickbaited into playing, and then feeling like shit when they're lower ranked than everybody else, and they're the same kids that are dumb enough to take their parents' credit cards and spend money on a fucking game within a game. In a sense, I don't even really blame the creators of the games unless you're over the age of 18, in which I probably blame you. The fact of it is, they're probably the same kids who were playing the fun games, or creating fun games at least, and getting visits and getting revenue, and then realizing there's no way for them to continue making games and achieving the same form of revenue without pushing these on children. Therefore becoming the Roblox staff team. It's fucking disgusting. Next, we lead into point 4, which is where all the big boy memes start coming in. Fuck. Right for the fucking memes. When I made all of the sexual and dating references in the beginning of the video when addressing the game, I did so for a reason. And that's because when people think of Roblox, that's what a lot of people fucking think about now. And like everything else that's negative, that sticks out far more prominently than any positive. And trust me, with this game nowadays, there's not a lot of fucking positives. I'm going to briefly refer back to a list that was in my last video of me impersonating a Roblox staff, and point out a list of games that Roblox was very quick to remove, but with a little research you can find it. A list of games that they declared would be unacceptable examples of games you could create in Roblox. The ones particularly sticking out right now are Get Married and Make Babies, Fun Dating Place, Stripper Club, and last but not least, Sex Party. Roblox wants you to know that they do not promote this type of activity in their video game, because obviously providing a dating environment or sexual environment for children is pretty wrong. We will ban all games that match these criteria with the most utmost swiftness. Yeah, if the creator's dumb enough to label it Sex Party or ooh, give me the nasty baby, those are gonna get banned, yeah. But when you have things like Fashion Frenzy or Roblox High School or Stay in a 5-Star Hotel or Club Insanity, they're proper masks for sexual content on Roblox. Oh, no, hold on. I just want to show a primate. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. Okay? This is bad. This is not good for the internet in any way other than memes, which it is important, but this is not good for kids. And it pisses me off. Not that I even fucking like kids. I actually hate kids. But from a little boy's perspective, from once a little boy's perspective, what the fuck? How did that even get permitted into the game? This is genuinely probably one of the most serious points on the video in general. I know it's fun to go into these games, because I go into them too on stream, and just laugh about the things that are going on within them, like, holy shit, ha ha ha, why aren't the parents watching these kids? Oh yeah, they're irresponsible and they're fucking in the room behind them right now, and they're not paying attention to what their kids were doing on the internet. Promise you this, I was not sex role-playing on Lego games as a child. My parents didn't even like me going on YouTube without them knowing ahead of time, so that I didn't see anything crazy. Somehow I turned out as fucked up as I am. Now, the real problem here is that, no, technically these games aren't designed for children to have sex in them. Or, I mean, they're not having real sex, but you get the fucking point. They're not designed for it. But, A, the intentions of the game are pretty much well known that this is where kids are going to come to do the fucking nasty, creepy shit. B, it's providing an environment for nasty, creepy shit. C, it doesn't take much of a genius to go into the game once, and I promise you Roblox goes through the fucking games every now and then, and notice that, it is designed for something else, but let's be honest, what's mainly going on here is some nasty, creepy shit. And D, there's no way to fucking age verify someone on Roblox. Do you know how many times I go into Steam when I'm fucking clicking onto a rated M game and I say I'm 92 because I was born in like 19 fucking, you know, the number? A fucking lot. And so can any 40-year-old creepy dude when he's signing up for Roblox to be a pedophile to kids online. But Roblox doesn't want to get rid of that type of game, do they? No, because it's one of their main attractions to the fucking game. It's where kids can go on and date Lego people. It's fucking weird. And you're not gonna tell me that Roblox is not aware of this type of activity and that's why they don't do anything about it. And if you're gonna try and come at me with the, well, they try and filter the chat. You've seen the memes lately. Kids find ways to say crazy shit on the internet, regardless of what restrictions happen. They will find a way. I can't tell somebody they're gay, but I can tell someone they have the big gay, and it's just as effective when I want to do it on Roblox. You can also tell that Roblox is aware, or at least was aware, and still is most likely, that this content was being created because you can tell a shift in the type of hats and items that were being created for children. It stopped being helmets and warlike items, military items, edgy items, whatever the fuck you want to say. And it started being a lot more hair, anime hair, different hair colors. We started getting different body models that were more realistic than the actual Legos. And this was all around the time that things started moving away from war groups. Sorry. And being used in a more casual, you know, lifestyle setting. Roblox took full advantage of this change and started changing their game to cater towards the audience that was promoting this type of activity on Roblox. And I guess I won't be a complete cunt and not give them any benefit of the doubt. Perhaps this wasn't intentional. Perhaps they just wanted to create more hair options and more cool options that people were requesting. I believe that. You know, I don't think they entirely knew that this is what it was going to turn into. But they sure as hell could have prevented it a lot more and used a little bit of their brain to see what was going on their game. And they sure as hell aren't doing a lot now to get rid of the problem. When you decide that the demographic of your game is children, which you guys have, you've made your decision, it is your responsibility to make sure that crazy shit isn't going on your website. To be honest, I hope you guys actually solve that problem. I don't want you guys necessarily shut down. I wish you'd make better decisions, but I do hope you do fix that part of your game. That would be nice. I'm sure some parents would probably feel a little better about it too. Don't worry, this will be wrapped up shortly, but for point 5, I'd like to go back once again to the fucking demographic change, which, trust me, there's a lot more to it. I'm just getting the main points out here. And that's the fact that there's so many fucking Disney cock down my fucking throat crossovers. This is a change that kind of happened slowly. I think when it did happen, no one really realized it at all, but it did happen. Remember when Disney tried to be quirky again, quirky and edgy, and they created Disney XD? And one of the pioneering shows of that was these two fucking assholes right here, Zeke and Luther. Well, the dipshit duo found a way into the game of Roblox through a Disney crossover with Roblox. Toontown had failed, the Pirates of the Caribbean MMO had failed, everything else Disney has tried to be an online interactive service had failed. They see Roblox, they see it successfully addressing children, and they say, let's fucking plaster the shit out of it. That's correct. Disney tested their cancer canon on Roblox well before they tested it on Marvel and Star Wars. Which, Marvel's alright, but Star Wars is pretty fucking garbage now. Don't try to argue that one with me either. Nobody wants to see Luke Skywalker drink titty milk. No one comes to Star Wars to hear 30 minutes of why capitalism's bad. They just don't. Side note, Hollywood. If you make something that is a comedy or an action film with little to no deep meaning behind it other than it's cool CGI and there's good shit blowing up, accept the fact that that's all it's good for and quit trying to fucking establish deep hidden meanings within it. You're not an artist, you're not a poet, you're not deep. Stick to making shit that people can go mindlessly enjoy. Thank you. Back to Roblox since we keep getting sidetracked. Zeke and Luther shoved their fucking dicks down our throat. We had to do a Lego skateboard event. You got an award for it. It really wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all. But over time, we started seeing more and more Disney crossovers every other fucking month. I'm sure you saw the Black Panther crossover with Roblox, which was awesome because Black Panther was a really good movie. All the Disney shit just brings more kids to fucking Roblox. You start advertising Roblox on Disney. Hey, Zeke and Luther are sticking Legos in their ass. Come play Roblox. You can do the same. You're bringing more children to the game and pushing away your other audience, which is just, I mean, it's your choice, but I wouldn't go there. Although I understand that the quick lump sum of money that Disney or whoever is going to give you for this crossover event is pretty tempting. But I promise you, in the long run, having a wider audience of people that are willing to pay for your game and continue progressing your game is going to be much more beneficial to it. And this leads into the final point, which addresses the Roblox staff in general. As much as I hate to admit it, the Roblox staff at one point seemed to have pretty pure intentions, pretty good intentions, and seemed to actually care about making a fun game for children. Not that it's wrong to pursue what you're doing for money. I mean, everyone who makes something and puts everything into it because they enjoy it eventually expects money at some point. It's always in the back of your head, despite what you say. I do it because I simply love it. That might be true, but there is still the motivation of money in the back of your head. It's natural for us. Roblox, you get no blame for me for that. You get no blame. The difference is the Roblox admins used to be damn icons on the website. They were awesome. You had Builderman, Reese McBlocks, which are all Dave Bajewski. It's all good. He's just a bunch of people. You had Shedletsky, or Telemon as he was called at the time. He was the best. You had Clockwork. He was the best. Eric Cassell, rest in peace. I won't put Ish on your name as I respect the dead, usually. And you have all the other fucks that don't really matter. Kids looked up to them, wanted to be them. They would come into games even, and kids would sit and wait in queues to join their game forever just to play with them. I'm not saying you have to play with your community all the time, but it sure as hell helped. It sure as hell gave, like, kids something crazy to feel about, to tell their friends about, like, oh, I saw a fucking Builderman today. And obviously I'm not saying you have to do that. The point is, I could see that back then the intentions behind it were good. Like, they wanted to play with their fans. They wanted to hear what their fans were saying, see what their community was like. Maybe if they did that now, they wouldn't have the fucking sex fiends running around in Roblox. Slowly over time that has changed, and you can clearly see that many of the motives of Roblox are driven by greed. Other than completely destroying the economy of the game and creating more and more options and microtransaction mentalities so that kids will spend more money on their game, their free-to-play game, there's a lot of different things that you can see throughout their pattern of Roblox that has shown their trail of greed left behind. The best example of this is Shedletsky, the demon himself. He is former staff for a reason, of which I'm not sure. I think he just wanted to do more Minecraft vlogs or something crazy like that. Whatever. In my opinion, the real reason that Shedletsky was removed from staff, or left staff, was probably because he realized, and his coworkers probably realized, dude, you're fucking weird. From the beginning, Shedletsky / Telemon had made some of the coolest games early on Roblox, and people worshipped him for that, and he would go and play those games, and everyone would have a fucking ball. Though it has been multiple of years since Shedletsky has made a game to accumulate any revenue or anything like that. Now, I could be inaccurate in saying this, but something tells me that when you're one of the, like, founders of Roblox, not founder, but head members of Roblox, and you've been there forever, and you have control over a ton of the game, you can pretty much summon any item you want into your inventory and give yourself what you want. I would imagine that's part of the privileges. I could be wrong, but that's what I would imagine. That isn't good enough for Shedletsky. He's not making money off his games anymore, which his fellow staff members fucked him over on that one. So what does he do? He participates in the game's economy. Now, there are two ways you can look at this and think it's not that bad. The way he did this was from trading people. Here are some examples of these trades. Now, you would think, hey, that's fine. He's just trying to participate in the game's economy and better it. He's not. You could also think, oh, well, he can't necessarily play games with everyone now because of overpopulation, so maybe he's making some kid's little day by clicking on a random profile and offering him a trade and being like, hey man, here's some shit. I'm Shedletsky. Let me trade you. Feel honored. This was not the case. Fun fact. If you look carefully at the trades, he is receiving a lot more value, typically, than he is giving the children. On top of this, I remember the first time I got a trade from Shedletsky and I felt like I was the shit. But you slowly realize Shedletsky's not sitting at his computer all day trading children. He has a fucking bot on the website that trades random kids shit and increases his value on Roblox. The dude's dead ass trying to take money away from kids to get the biggest dick he can on a game he helped shape. What kind of a fucking psychopath does that shit? Not only that, but he would also purchase limited U items, which I don't know what the U ever stood for. I never figured that one out. Maybe I'm just fucking brain dead. But he would take limited U items which have a serial number and they have a certain amount that sell. You know, 1,000. Not so bad, John Shedletsky. Go ahead, buy that shit. I mean, there's still 999 kids that can purchase it. No big deal. Well, no, when you're buying ones that only have like 10, 15, 20 sales on them, you're literally taking, at minimum, out of that number spectrum, 5% of the sales away. Because you need to have the biggest dick on Roblox. That's fucking bonkers. Clearly, John Shedletsky is a fucking psychopath. I don't think he's a fucking psychopath, but he's clearly a fucking scumbag. Eat shit, John Shedletsky. I am so happy that you are not taking money from children anymore. I hope you were fired. Farewell. That pretty much sums it up. Roblox is just a fucking shitfest now, and it's not a secret. But at least now, if you already thought it was a shitfest, maybe you can have a clearer idea of why it was a shitfest, and why I had a better time as a child than you are currently having now. The game was good. It wasn't a meme back then. And I guess I just kind of fucking despise Roblox for not giving me the ability to be the creepy 20-year-old guy building Lego ship models in his basement on Roblox. Then again, you already have like fucking 40-year-old pedophiles on there, so I don't see what the fucking difference is. The difference being I'm not trying to fuck kids. Don't worry. I just stream the shit, ironically. That's the whole point of it. I just meme on a game I used to enjoy and tell kids I'm richer than them. Just because it's funny. Go watch it. Twitch.tv/Railmoose. Thanks. You guys might sit back at night and go home to your families after a long day of scamming kids and say, why is our pride and joy, our greatest creation ever, a huge meme, and why are we viewed as assholes? And you did it to yourselves. You pushed away an entire audience, you fucking catered it towards kids, and you said, you know what? Maybe we'll just take Disney's cock down our throat for a lump sum of money instead of working on something gradual that could have been something pretty cool. Thanks for fucking it up. You ruined my childhood. I'm ashamed to say that a lot of my best friends come from when I was like 12 years old on Roblox, my internet best friends. Either way, let's try to end with a positive memory of Roblox. Prepare to get the handkerchiefs out, because I'm going to tell you about a little Railmoose who had hopes and dreams and still believed in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, and how his day was made on Roblox one day. And this once again shows how the staff was actually pretty cool back then, and I'll give them some credit for it. Not now though, they're different people. So in 2008 when I joined, it was in the middle of the Easter egg hunt event, which has decayed once again into a shit event, but back then it was pretty cool. Little 10-year-old Railmoose is playing, and he's doing the egg hunt, and he read the description for the egg hunt, trying to figure out how to get all the eggs, and he read that the Roblox user account, Easter Rabbit, is going around and dropping eggs into everyone's games. I thought, that's pretty cool. Maybe it's the actual Easter Bunny. Like, maybe they know the Easter Bunny. Fucking kids. And I was so fucking stoked by that. Back then, you could actually private message the admins, which was crazy. And most of the time, they didn't respond. But you could tell that the Easter Rabbit account was an admin account because it had the little admin badge. I don't know if it was Easter Rabbit, but it was something along the lines of that made you think it was the Easter Bunny. So what did little Railmoose do on his favorite holiday of Easter? He messaged the Easter Rabbit after making an Easter-themed place and says, "Hey, I'm little Railmoose. This is some bullshit. Would you come check out my place and hang out with me? And blah blah blah. I'll tell you what I want in my Easter basket," or something cool like that. I don't know. Either way, they saw a young boy, little Railmoose, still believing in the Easter Bunny. Thought it was probably cute or some shit because I was a fucking cute little 10-year-old. And they said, "You know what? Let's go play with this kid." So someone hopped on the Easter Bunny account, went into my place that I was waiting for so eagerly, and he played with me for like a half hour. And it was crazy. And I talked to him about Easter and shit. And he was like building all sorts of crazy shit in the game. And I was like, how the fuck is this guy doing it? But he was doing it. And it was nuts. And it was pretty sick. I thought that was pretty cool. You made a kid's day on that day. And like I went and told my mom and my friends about it. It was fucking awesome. So thank you for that as a kid. That was nuts. I just wish you guys still gave a shit about your audience like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're not crying right now, then you're a bitch. You're just a bitch. Maybe you guys aren't fully aware of your game. I'm not really sure. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But if you're not, and you are now, and you see things differently, because you'll probably see it, because I imagine someone will post it to the subreddit, and they'll get banned, like someone did with the last video. Hopefully, you can fucking fix it, and, like, save the fucking children on your game. This is a fucking waste of time, and I need to go to bed. So, thanks for fucking listening to how shitty Roblox is. Fuck you, bye.